Assalamualaikum. We are from Group 7, so we are going to do a video presentation for our bio case study. Before we start, we are going to introduce ourselves. My name is Prokaryotic binti Muhammad Syukur.
My name is Nur Zafira Shazwani binti Ruslan.
My name is Nur Najwa binti Muhammad Rasmi.
My name is Sharifah Aisha binti Said Awi. We are going to present Eukaryotic and Prokaryotic cell as
Assalamualaikum, my name is Putri Kamila binti Muhammad Syukur, and I'll be the first one to present on the topic of eukaryotic and prokaryotic cells. Microscope is an important tool in cytology, which is the study of cells. The first microscope is invented by Hans and Zachary Janssen in the 1590s by creating the first compound microscope, and then it got upgraded by Anthony van Leeuwenhoek and Robert Hooke by improving the lens. The two important parameters in microscopy is magnification and resolution. Magnification is the ratio of an object's image size to its real size. Resolution is a measure of clarity of the image. There are two main important microscopes in cytology, which is light microscope and electron microscope. Both are completely different from each other by the way they are used and by the way it works. Light microscope use glass lens to focus light, while electron microscope use electromagnets to focus electrons. Light microscope has low magnification and low resolution, while electron microscope has high resolution and high magnification. Light microscope can see bigger cells, while electron microscope can see small cells, which are not visible to the naked eye. Before I explain to you about eukaryotic and prokaryotic cell, I am going to tell you about the cell theory. Cell theory states that the organisms are composed of at least one or more cells. The cells are the basic unit of structures and functions in organisms. Prokaryotic cell is believed to be the first cell to be evolved. They don't have a nucleus and only has a nuclear region. The only organelle that they have is ribosomes, which is used for proteins, to make proteins, and storage for granules. They have a cell wall outside of the plasma membrane, and they have flagella, which is used for movement, and it operates like a propeller. Meanwhile, eukaryotic cells has three important compartments, which is a nucleus, plasma membranes, and cytoplasm that contains other organelles such as mitochondria and Golgi apparatus. There are two types of eukaryotic cell, which is plant cell and animal cell. So here are the two differences between prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells. Prokaryotic cells doesn't contain nucleus, while eukaryotic cell does contain nucleus. Next, the ribosomes are bigger in size in eukaryotic cells compared to prokaryotic cells, which is smaller in size. The cell division for prokaryotic cell is binary fission, and for the cell division for eukaryotic cell is mitosis. Nucleus is also known as a control center, where they control the activities of the cell. It contains genes, which is DNA. They also contain chromosome, chromatins, nuclear envelopes, nucleolus, and nucleosome. Here are some things that contains in the nucleus and their function. Chromatin is a material consisting of DNAs and proteins. Nucleolus is a non-membranous organelle that is involved in the production of ribosomes. Nuclear envelope is a double membrane enclosing the nucleus. Nucleoplasm is a semi-fluid medium inside the nucleosome is the fundamental units of the chromatin where the material of eukaryotic chromosomes are made. Nucleolus is a spherical region in the nucleus and found in a non-dividing cell. It has a nucleoorganizers and ribosomes. Sometimes there are more than one nucleolus present in the nucleus. Nuclear membrane encloses the nucleus. It has a double layer of membrane with pores to allow materials to enter and leave the nucleus. Thank you, that is all from me. Now we shall move on to the other topic. The internal delivery system of the cell. Endoplasmic reticulum have two types, which is smooth endoplasmic reticulum and a rough endoplasmic reticulum. First function of SER is mix fats or lipids, and second it detoxifies drugs, alcohol, and poisons. SER is without bound ribosomes and no ribosome. RER function is helps make proteins, so that's why it has ribosomes. Lysosomes are vesicles produced by the Golgi apparatus. It contains of hydrolytic enzymes, which is digestive enzymes. It also known as cleanup crews. Next, Golgi apparatus. Once the proteins are produced by the rough endoplasmic reticulum, they pass into vesicle. Second, transport vesicles move from rough endoplasmic reticulum to the Golgi apparatus. Third, lysosomes combines with new vesicle and substance is digested. And last, secretory vesicle discharge a product at the plasma membrane. Now let's move on to the next organelle. Microbodies. Microbodies is a type of organelle found in plant and animal cells. Organelles in the microbody family includes peroxisms and glyocisms. Peroxism. It produces enzyme catalase. Its function is to split any harmful substance to the cell, like hydrogen peroxide, and there's a high amount of peroxisms in human liver and kidney cells. It also functions to detoxify ethanol, the alcohol in liquor. Glyocisms. Glyocisms are specialized peroxisms in plant cells, particularly in fat-storing tissues of germinating seeds, and also filamentous fungi. It also contains enzymes that convert stored fat, fatty acid, to carbohydrates. Another organelle in eukaryotes is vacuole. Vacuole is a large membrane cloth sac for cellular storage. It exists in plant cells especially, and also animal cells, but less in amount. Its main function is store water and food. There are three types of vacuole: food vacuole, contractile vacuole, and also central vacuole. These two images are the example of vacuole. Now let's move on to the next organelle that only exists in plant cells. Chloroplast. Chloroplasts convert the sunlight, light energy, to chemical energy in order to produce food for the plant cell, or photosynthesis. Its color is green because of the pigment inside the cell, which is called chlorophyll. Thylakoids contain photosynthetic membrane. So here is the picture of chloroplast. If there's a question in the exam that asks you to draw the structure of chloroplast, the second picture is the easiest picture that you could draw, and make sure to label it. Now, let's dive deeper into the eukaryotes. So, here are some of the pictures of cytoskeleton. What is cytoskeleton? Cytoskeleton is a network of fiber throughout the cytoplasm. It gives cellular support and movement. It is composed of microfilaments, intermediate filaments, and also microtubules. Mitochondria. It is also known as the powerhouse of cell. It produces major fuel for all cell activities. Here are some pictures of mitochondria. The first picture with orange intermembrane space. It is the easiest picture you could draw during exam. And don't forget to label. Mitochondria is a double membrane organelle, inner called cristae and outer membrane. The membranes help increase its surface area for chemical reactions to happen. The amount of mitochondria depends on the cell's energy requirement. As I said, it is source of ATP, adenosine triphosphate. Mitochondria requires oxygen to break down food, glucose, in aerobic respiration.
Hello everyone, my name is Afrina and I believe it is my turn to present to you guys about this topic. Let's start off with cell wall. Cell wall. The cell wall, found in prokaryotes, fungi, and some protists, has multiple functions. In plants, the cell wall protects the cell, maintains its shape, and prevents excessive uptake of water. It also supports the plant against the force of gravity. The thickness and chemical composition of cell walls differs from species to species and among cell types. The function? It provides support and protection to the cell membrane. It is found outside the cell membrane in plant cells. Cell walls are composed of polysaccharides and proteins. Cell walls are also formed from fibrils of cellulose molecules in a matrix of polysaccharides and glycoproteins. Cell walls are strong cellulose fibers surrounding plant cells. They also protect and give rigidity to plant cells. A mature cell wall consists of a primary cell wall, a middle lamella, with sticky polysaccharides that hold cells together, and layers of secondary cell wall. At plant cell walls, there are tiny holes which cytoplasmic connections between adjacent cells may run. This connection is called plasmodesmata. Plasmodesmata permits direct cell-to-cell communication through the cell wall. Next, glycolegs. Glycolysis is a protein and carbohydrate coat covering extracellular surface of the plasma membrane. It allows attachment to other cells and also allows the cell to interact with the environment. It is present of capsule or slime layer of some bacteria. Next, unicellular and multicellular organisms. Living things are constructed of cells. Living things may be unicellular or multicellular. Unicellular organisms are made of one cell only. The cells of multicellular organisms are specialized to perform different functions. For example, muscular cells for photosynthesis and root hair cells for water absorption. Humans are multicellular animals. We are made of lots of cells, not just one cell. Here you can see the sizes of living things, all the way from atoms, amino acids, proteins, all the way to the biggest animal on earth, which is blue whale. Now, about number of cells. Organisms may be 1. Unicellular, which is composed of one cell, 2. Multicellular, which is composed of many cells that may organize. Cell diversity. As you can see here, there's lots of shapes and sizes. Smooth muscle cell, oocyte, blood cells, bone cell, sperm, neuron in brain, cells lining intestinal tract, and fat cell. All of them have different sizes. Here you can see the different kinds of animal cells: white blood cell, red blood cell, cheek cells, sperm, nerve cell, muscle cells. But amoeba and paramecium are not animal cells. Now I will elaborate on the functions and special features of some of the type of animal cells. First, red blood cells. The function is to carry oxygen and has special features like large surface area for oxygen to pass through, and it contains hemoglobin which joins with oxygen. Next, nerve cell. The function is to carry nerve impulses to different parts of the body, and the special features would be long and has connections at each end and can carry electrical signals. Next, female reproductive cell, which is known as egg cell. The function is to join with male cell and then to provide food for the new cell that's been formed. The special features: large, contains lots of cytoplasm. Next, male reproductive cell, which is also known as sperm cell. The function is to reach female cell and join with it. The special features is it has long tail for swimming and head for getting into female cell. Now, about plant cell. For root hair cell, the function is to absorb water and minerals. The special features would be large surface area. For leaf cell, is the function to absorb sunlight for photosynthesis, and the special features would be large surface area and lots of chloroplasts. Here are the different kinds of plant cells: onion epidermal cells, root hair, and gourd cells. All of these are found in plant cells. Similarities between plant cells and animal cells. 1. They both have a cell membrane and surrounding the cytoplasm. 2. They both have a nucleus. And 3. They both also contain mitochondria. Animal and plant cells have organelles. Organelles compartmentalize functions within the cell. The organelles of animal and plant cells are similar to each other except that centrioles are present only in animal cells and chloroplasts are present only in plant cells. The ones in blue arrows are the ones that found in both cells, and the ones in red would be the ones that are found in plant cells only. Here are the differences in animal and plant cells. The one you see on your left would be the detailed diagram of animal cell, and the one you see on your right would be the detailed diagram of plant cell. Other than that, the differences between plant cells and animal cells would be the vacuoles in animal cells are small or absent, meanwhile in plant cells are large central vacuole. In animal cells, the food storage is glycogen, while in plant cells the food storage is starch. The position of the nucleus in animal cells are at the center, while plant cells the nucleus are near cell wall. Furthermore, in animal cells they are relatively smaller in size, meanwhile plant cells are relatively larger in size. Second, animal cells are in irregular shape, meanwhile plant cells are in regular shape. Lastly, there is no cell wall in animal cells, meanwhile in plant cells the cell walls are present. I believe that's all from me, and I hope I have enlightened you about this topic, and thank you so much for your patience and for watching. Bye bye!